I heard Grandmaster Flash and the Wheels of Steel. That was the first sort of do-it-yourself record for me, you know. And when I heard that record, I was like, it was as if all I had to do to make music was to buy some turntables and learn how to scratch. I remember being at school and working through my 6-week holiday at school just to get to some Technics and a mixer, and basically like for the next, I think I was about 15, and for the next sort of year I was just stayed in all the time and just learned how to do that.
Armed with his turntables, Liam started DJing, and he soon got a regular set at a club in Essex called The Barn, and it was the place where the Prodigy was conceived.
I suppose it was our meeting ground, really. You know, whatever you did, you know, if you was going out for the weekend and stuff, you'd always have a Friday night down at The Barn.
People used to come down from London every week, you know, because it was such a good, it was such a wicked night.
Yeah, it was a wicked, wicked club. And it was real, and all the people there were really into it. Me and Leroy used to dance, and to be quite honest, I went down there and I'd never danced anywhere in my entire life, ever. Not even at a wedding reception, you know, and...
You should.
No, sure.
What evil?
I wouldn't say Leroy sort of taught me to dance, although everything that I do has stemmed from dancing with Leroy. You know, sort of saying that Leroy taught me to dance sort of summons thoughts of us sort of putting on our favourite tracks in you know, at home in the bedroom or in the front room or something, and you know, him saying, you know, left ear right there, and you know, turn, and you know, as if you're like some dance studio. That's not at all.
One thing clearly sticks in my head was a time we were on the beach, and it was about, around sort of, it must have been 5 in the morning or something. There's about 300 people there, and I was DJing at the back of a transit van, and this guy came up to me with, you know, long hair, which was Keith, and he was like, "Oh, the tune you were playing last week," and it went, and he tried to sing it, and I pulled it out. I think it was the right one, you know.
Yeah, it was. And he said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll chuck some of these tracks down, and some like it, and I'll sort you out a tape." So yeah, cool. And then the next week he turns up, chucks me the tape. He says, "Oh, that track's on there and a few others. I reckon you'll be into it." And on the other side's my stuff. So of course I got home, chucked the tape on, listened to the track that I wanted to hear, yeah, and I was, you know, buzzing. It was really cool. Checked out the other stuff, you know, and you don't expect to know people who can write music properly. You know, you've heard loads of sort of like acoustic demo type things that mates have put together, and I chucked it on. I was like, I can't believe that someone I know has put this together. And yeah, it was just, it was superb.
Me, Leroy and Keith decided that we wanted to sort of try and put this thing on stage. We didn't know what it was going to be like or anything at this stage, and we kind of, we had a friend called Ziggy who sort of tried to become our manager, and he had a friend called Max in Reality, and he's like, "Oh, he's mad, you know, he's got this little tuft of hair that sticks out the front of his head, looks like Tintin."
I turned up with my friends on the first show, which was at the Labyrinth, and met everybody, and just got on the stage and just jammed. I was just freestyling lyrics, and you know, yeah, it was cool. It was a good buzz.
We turned up about midday or something. Turned up midday, like Boy Scouts being prepared, get all the equipment all set up, trying to work out where these leads went, and, you know, how to rig it to the PA and get sound out of it and shit like that. We didn't have sound men or lighting men, and so you know, so we all turned up and no one really knew what they were going to do or how they were going to do it, and then that's how it all sort of started, really.
Charlie says always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere.
We're on stage, Keith's feeling pretty ill. I was doing a sound check on stage and stuff, and I played Charlie at the mix that was in the charts, and the DJ was also checking his headphones at the time, and Keith went up to the DJ and he was like, "What's this tune you're playing? It's wicked, you know." And he's like, "Oh, it's not me, it's your man over there." And that was me playing the record, you know, and it was the first time you heard it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he was
So
feeling ill.
I'm sort of thinking, God, check this tune out, that's nuts.
It was a huge hit, but critics described Charlie as the kiddie techno tune that killed the rave scene.
It was the repercussions after that record which killed it. You know, people who were copying other artists, you know, sort of all this kind of crap that followed the Sesame Street. They were the real novelty tunes. They were cashing in on what I'd done. But once I'd made Charlie, I knew I'd never make another record like that again. In sort of the early days, you got the one-hit wonder thing, you know, you got the dance albums don't sell, all that type of shit, you know, and we kind of, every time we released a record, we sort of, you know, we sort of proved people wrong.
It just showed that if you're real and you stick to yourself or stick to what you believe and you do it for yourself and not for the rest of the world, you know, that was the way to get things to pay off, really.
Something that didn't pay off for Prodigy was the Criminal Justice Bill, the law which put an end to rave parties across the UK.
I was really disillusioned with the whole rave scene, and the final straw was when we were in Scotland on stage at a thing called Resurrection, and there was a guy, an official standing at the mixing desk, EQing the bass out of the music, you know, and when we were on stage. And so I just walked off stage, that was it, you know, I wasn't playing my music, no way. We put a statement on the One Love EP, and that for me was kind of like, that was for me the last time I wanted to play in any rave in England. Just because it finished, you know, it had gone. You know, it had gone in '93, it wasn't what I was into when I first got into it, and it was like, we'd already started to make our ways into sort of like small festivals and stuff like that, and that was kind of more of a buzz for us, whether it was going to kill the band or whatever it was going to do. We were just into doing that because it was a good buzz, you know, it was a different thing.
As the hard work paid off, Prodigy felt it was time to take the next step to emerge from the shadows of the underground dance scene.
Everyone before in the dance scene was kind of like scared to step out of it because they were worried about not being underground, you know, which is a stupid thing, really. None of us wanted to be pop stars and still don't. But it's like, we weren't afraid to sort of have our faces in the video. Where other bands were like faceless techno artists, we were like, no, it's possible to be credible and to have a face, you know, and kind of, you know, and that's why we wanted to do a video like that, and it worked, you know, it was a good video.
Everyone was trying to put a name on the music that the Prodigy were making, and that prompted the band to come up with their own definition.
The press spend all year making up stupid sort of descriptions of bands and stuff, and we just thought we'd have a go, you know? But just something at the time that we just said, you know, and all of a sudden it's like, Prodigy are the electronic punks, you know? But whatever. We just do what we do, and other people can make up whatever descriptions they want about what we do.